Hey guys, what's going on? And yes, we are back with another updated crazy SnD plan spot video. This one's going to be on Freight. And Freight is one of my maps I struggle with in singles. But I got some pretty good spots to show you guys nevertheless. So let's dive into this once this game does load in for us. And I want to thank you guys for all the support you guys have been giving me with all my videos. It does mean a lot to me that you guys are willing to, stick by me, watch my videos, give me positive feedback and constructive feedback as well. I always appreciate constructive feedback. It's not always just like, great video, dude. That means the most. Sometimes it's just like, you need to work on this, maybe stop saying in the middle of your sentences, or you need to elaborate more on certain aspects that you're not really getting too specific on. Stuff like that. And I always appreciate stuff like that. It is really, really helpful and helps the overall outlook of my channel a lot better. So as we hit the 20-second mark, I got quite a bit of spots for you guys on both bombs. I think we'll start off with the A bomb just because it's closer. And there's so many spots to cover the A bomb. A bomb is something that you can really. There's so many spots. It's hard to pin down because that's why when it's like a 2v1 in dubs or something. A-bomb is just so ideal to plant at because you could have one guy on one side of the map and the other guy on the complete opposite side. But I want to start this A-bomb off showing you guys my favorite spot. Definitely my best spot overall on the A-bomb is going to be planting right on this corner. You want to plant right on this corner here. You can nudge yourself out a bit more if you need to. And boom, you put the bomb down. And what you want to do is you run straight into red. You run like this. You see if he pushes out here at all. Most likely he won't though. And you just simply pop out. You check the bomb because the bomb will be literally right there. You lay prone and you can look right underneath this red dumpster. You look underneath the dumpster so you see his feet scattering towards you, so you don't even need to ADS because you'll see his feet in advance. So if he pops out, you just ADS and kill him. It's easy kill. And you just pop out every couple seconds to check the bomb. Pretty simple. You will almost never get flanked because I want to say I've never gotten flanked in this spot before. I think I've been ninja'd once in this spot because I did something stupid, but I think that's really it for this spot. It's a pretty solid spot. Just rotate back and forth and check the bomb and whatnot. But now that has just occurred to me, I think you can actually, you can do the same thing back here on the lumber if you'd like. I've never done this personally, but it could work out. I could definitely see this working out as a plant spot. Just looking at the bomb from here, you got a nice head glitch to work with if you see him over there at all. Or you really wouldn't want to even attempt to challenge though, and you can see anything in front of you. And no, they're not going to come from behind you. Let's be honest here. They're not going to come from behind you. So you got that to work with. And that's definitely my favorite spot in the A-bomb, no doubt. But there are so many others to work with. Another one I like doing is you plant the bomb, doesn't matter where, and you either lay here and just watch this, or you can kind of like rotate your screen back and forth here. And the reason this spot is so good because you can sound the bomb. You can always hear if they're planting or defusing or whatever, and you have a pretty good look on especially if you lock down a certain side of the map, they're on this side of the map, you can just ADS this, and if they're not here, you can do a little lap maybe. And that usually works out pretty damn well, I would say. You just, work this side of the fence and just pray they don't check it, or if they do check it, hopefully you'll be on board for that. Now let's get into actually, let me finish this side of the map first, before we go into the other side of the map for A. And there's so many, obviously, like I said before, I can't go over all of them. But one of the ones I like the most is going to be climbing up the third story. And you have such control of the map. You can see him from almost anywhere. So you can see, alright, he crossed mid-map, alright, he pushed out of white, alright, it's at crates, whatever. And all with the convenience of just popping out here to check the bomb. You want to plant it, obviously, somewhere that's visible to you. And you could, if you really want, if you're confident in your gun skill, you could literally sit on this ledge the entire time and just, scale around the map, because if he pops out a red, you have a pick and stuff like that. But this works really, really well, this plant spot. Another one that I also sometimes do is you want to close this door right here, and you're going to just sit in one of these corners. It's up to you which. I would say this one. And you just sit in this corner, and you just get ready. You can see the cross back there, if he does cross, which I highly doubt he would. But you pretty much cover it in front of you, and you also want to pay attention to that corner right there. You want to see if he pops out of here, because then you'd have to obviously, you know, kill them. But at the same time, you can sound whore the bomb. You'd be able to hear if they start defusing, and that's the major thing here. You don't got to worry about your right side because the door is closed. Obviously, if that opens, you want to be prepared for that. But I got one more spot for this side of the map, at least, on A, and that's going to be, if I could climb the ladder, going to be getting inside red. And one thing, I'd say my favorite spot, actually, is sitting right in this corner, because you can see the cross. That's probably my favorite to do. You can see the entire cross there, and all you got to do is look out through the cracks here to see the bomb planted. It's pretty simple. You just look through that, and there's a ton of other spots similar to that, such as, you know, laying through this crack to check, and then you could just stand up, watch your back, do whatever. Or you could like scale down a bit and move over here and look through the cracks and see the bomb. Whatever you'd like to do. My favorite is sitting in this corner right here because you can see the cross. But if you're too nervous that he's going to come up from behind you, you can definitely do something like this. And then just, you know, obviously turn your screen a bit and do that. And, you know, just sit in this corner and kind of rotate back and forth. And third floor would be the preferred option to do that on. Alright, so that is this side. I wanted to jump out the front, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do that. Alright, so one plant spot, a lot of people do, believe it or not, is actually lay right here. And what this enables you to do is you can see if he pops out planks or whatever, and you can also see the entire cross. Now this is a juicy spot. I do enjoy using this, but the only problem that I don't like with it is you're exposed to back. Your back's exposed. So, you know, you're pretty much fucked if he comes out of red, which most people could do. But if they do come out red, it's not guaranteed they're going to check this. But the reason I don't ever really use this spot is because there is that risk that they're going to see you there. And I don't like taking that risk because red is such a common spot for them to pop out on. It's so common. Another great spot right here. You know, you can see the bomb through the bottom train. Pretty basic, and if you see a mid-map or something, you could head glitch this and, you know, work with that. Then rotate down, check bomb, you know, climb back up if you would prefer to do that. That works out very good as well. And also this head glitch as well, right back here in the barrels. But you can't see the bomb from here, so you're going to have to drop back down. And now as we go into some other spots. Obviously we got porters. This window allows you to see, you know, a big portion of the map, but the one to check on the bomb, you're going to want to jump out this window right here. And you're going to have to plant the bomb right on this side of the map, or this side of the bomb, in order to see it. And usually what I do is I just look up that window, then ADS my back. Then I'll look at that window again, ADS that back. I'll do that, and then ADS my back again. Just continue that, just because it's pretty, you know, safe, I would say. You know, unless they're going to be sitting there ADS and Owens, or porters, which they most likely won't be. Because this plant spot right here is also a very a viable option. And all you gotta do is pop out red, C-bomb, pop back inside. I prefer this over porters personally, just because it's just so easy. You don't gotta worry about climbing onto the side. You just pop out, and then you can see the cross to here at the same time. You see what I'm saying? You pop out. You know, you can even stay here, and you can see if he pushes you in white, you can also see the mid cross and the back alley. You know, so it's a very powerful spot. I much prefer white over that. You know, obviously stuff like doing this stuff works out as well, but I wouldn't even bother messing around with that. I'd just stick to checking the bomb from this very location. Now, I had another plant spot. I'm not honestly... Oh, yeah. I remembered it now. I was blanking there for a second, and believe it or not, this is a very powerful spot. And back when 3Ping was around, oh, this would be the killer spot. You literally lay prone here, if somebody 3P the bomb, it was God, but that's not around anymore, sadly. One option is to sit back here. You can see the entire middle cross. You can also see the... fire and red alley cross right here, so if you just cross back and forth. But what I prefer to do is actually lay prone here, and then you climb up, check the bomb, or just jump and check the bomb. That's probably a bit easier. That works out, as well as climbing on this dumpster right back here. It's a pretty... If I could jump on the blue thing, there we go. And you can see the entire bomb from the blue thing, and yeah, it's a pretty good control spot. One thing I do like to do is, you know, you could... God damn it, I'm trying to think what I remembered I used to do on this map, but... Alright, but yeah, pretty much climb up here and check the bomb. That's pretty simple. Self-explanatory what you're doing there. And then one spot I like even more than any of these spots on this side of the map has to be back here. Literally all you gotta do is just stand here, you know, see if they push you at all, and then when you want to check the bomb, you climb up, and you can see the bomb. You'll be able to see if they're defusing, so you just just burst fire if you see them or whatever, and you'll have the kill. That's pretty much how the A-bomb works. So that's all, at any of the cross spots. And then just push straight to B. Always be aware of bottom Owens in case he does pop out. Actually planting right. And both these work out pretty well, but I'm going to be going over, make sure you do take into account where you plant the bomb, because that has a huge role of where you're actually going to go. But one lap I'd like doing is just running around a little lap right here. But I'm considering extending this lap a bit more. So you run through some more stuff and shit. But pretty much, what I would do for a lap is you plant the bomb right there. You're going to run up Owens. You run down here. Oh yeah, and I'm forgetting certain steps. Make sure you do check the cross, obviously. You want to see if you can catch him crossing or whatever. You don't see him crossing, that's all good. You just run back down here. Check cross again, you're all good. Then you just pop out here, and you can see the bomb. You can see lots of spots. Obviously, like I said, preferred one was right there. And then from here, what I do is I just lay prone right here. You can see that cross. You can see underneath the dumpster again. And all you gotta do is just pop out, check bomb, and just go back prone and just repeat. Make sure you don't get ninjaed, because trust me, when you're in a great spot like that, it really does suck to be ninjaed on. Alright. So another spot, if you plant in the far back corner, let me re-illustrate what I'm trying to tell you guys. Way back here in this far back corner, as you can see, I can see all the way to there. It's such a powerful plant spot. But what I usually do is I run right back here. From the plant, I run this way, and right to here, and I just check my cross when I'm doing this. Run all the way over here. Back here. And from here, I just see if I can see him crossing. Don't see anything. Push up a bit. And I can check bomb from here. And usually what I'll do is I'll literally lay prone here. I'll usually just sit in the corner. Check my back. He most likely won't come from behind you. But all you're doing is just staying alive. You're not worrying about trying to get a pick or anything. You're just staying alive. You pop out. It's check bomb. You pop back in. And you just sit in the corner. If he does see you, you have a gunfight in your hands. I would just stick in this spot, assuming he doesn't have a Semtex or something like that. You just stay in this corner, you just stay alive, you pop out when you need to check the bomb. Simple as that. Again, don't get ninjaed on this spot. It really does suck, and this also would work way back here, but I wouldn't really suggest you push that far back. So those are some good spots. And another one I love that people don't really take into account that much is this one right here. The problem with this spot is people do come from behind you. And originally, when I started using this spot, I didn't think people would come behind me that often. But believe it or not, quite a few people do come from behind you. But it's a risk I take quite often, and it usually does pay off for the most part. And it's just simply ADSing this corner right here. And what you're going to be watching is you can see the entire cross to B. So there's no way, no matter where you plant the bomb, there's no way he can defuse it without you seeing him cross. So you're either going to see him cross the back, or you're going to see him pop out right in front of you, and you're going to have an easy kill. Or he's going to come from behind you and shoot you in the back. Usually, he'll pop out in the far back, which is usually what happens. And from there, most of the time they don't even see you, because they're literally just sprinting past. They don't even take their time and look in this spot. So usually they don't see you. And usually what I do is I just push up to here, sound horn the bomb, and just see if he pushes it out right in front of me. That's all I'm doing, is just staying alive. Alright, I know where he is. He has a nice head glitch to work with right here. I'm not even going to challenge that. I'm literally just going to lay prone here and just wait for him to pop out at the same time sound horn. That's all you got to do until he picks up the bomb or pushes it out. You'll win the round either way as long as he pushed it out there. Another spot that I don't ever really use much, but it could definitely work out, is watching the cross from here. There's no way they can get to the bomb without you seeing them. Obviously they can get from behind you, but that doesn't happen very, very often. Yet again. So you're just sitting here, seeing if you push out here or the cross at all, and then you can, if they come from behind you, you're dead. But the thing is, with the spot I used, if they run this way or they run this way, you're dead both ways. The thing with this, if they run this way, they're gonna walk right in front of you. So that's why I always walk from the back whenever I approach the spot. So you can see cross. AR would be suggested in this spot. But yeah, it works out pretty well. And no one. I haven't tried this out actually, but I believe this would be a hell of a spot, actually sitting in this corner. And if you don't want to sit in that corner, you can actually prone up right here. I've done this before in TL and stuff. And you just prone up and you watch the middle, and you can see if you push right across white or not. And then yeah, you just work this out, and you just check your back occasionally, and you just work in this corner. And it's up to you where you wanna plant the bomb and stuff. It's really kind of a hard decision to make. But you're probably gonna want to plant. My guess would be on one of these corners over here, just so it's a little bit easier to check. When you just check the bomb, you could probably rotate into one of these spots after a while or something like that. And that works really well. The final spots are coming up right now, and one of them is right here. This is one of my preferred spots. You guys see me use quite a bit in my singles games. And basically what I'm looking for is I can see through the cracks of the planks there, so I'll see a little bit of movement behind that if he pops out over there. So I'll see that, and I'll win the gunfight probably just about every time. And then there's also, if he pops out right in front of me, I'm probably dead unless he doesn't check the corner. And pretty much what I'm doing is I'm just waiting for him to pop out in front of me or from my side. I just position my screen just like this and just wait it out and see what happens. Some people also do the other corner. Both work. You know, it depends on the situation. I almost always go in this one though, but some people also can. You can also work up this one if you want to check your back, whatever. Both work out very, very well. And for the final spot, a very, very common spot that people like using. This is one of my most original free spots that I discovered, and actually laying prone here. You ADS the corner right here, and at the same time you can see across the entire dumpster, so you'll see if his feet are moving over there. ADS this, you pop out, check bomb. Obviously you want to plant on this side, and you just do that. And you can pretty much work over this back thing. A lot of people do stun and nade this spot though, so do be aware, because people are aware of the spot. And lots of people like stunning and nading it, but pretty much depends what works out for you guys. If you like that spot, it's up to you. If you don't, you don't. That goes for everything else in this video. But that's all for this one, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. I know I did. Making this. That's all for this one, guys. And as usual, I'll catch you guys. And the corner right here, and at the same time you can see across the entire dumpster, so you'll see if his feet are moving over there. ADS this, you pop out, check bomb. Obviously you want to plant on this side, and you just do that. And you can pretty much work over this back thing. A lot of people do stun and nade this spot though, so do be aware, because people are aware of the spot. And lots of people like stunning and nading it, but pretty much depends what works out for you guys. If you like that spot, it's up to you. If you don't, you don't. That goes for everything else in this video. But that's all for this one, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. I know I did. Making this. That's all for this one, guys. And as usual, I'll catch you guys.